Good morning. You might think by the video title that I'm trying to clickbait people, but I'm not. This is something that I've spoke about before, never have really gone on and linked about it, not going to now. But it's just something that I have noticed, and I think it's great. I think it's a good thing. I don't know if it's going to make it anywhere. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Robert Kennedy Jr. If Robert Kennedy Jr. got out of the primaries and actually got his name on the presidential ballot, I think not only does he have a hell of a good chance at winning, but I think that it's our best chance of actually getting anything done. I've talked to a number of people regarding Robert Kennedy Jr. I have talked to a number of conservatives. Most of the people I know are conservative, many of them very heavily. And most of them have said to me that if they have if they're left with the choice between Trump and Robert Kennedy Jr., they got to go with Robert Kennedy Jr. All of a sudden, his name just makes the political party go poof. For good reason. This is why I say we need to abolish the political parties. Because hands down, the best one running right now for president, the absolute 100% best choice is Robert Kennedy Jr. And I know a lot of people would go, oh, that's opinion. No. It's not opinion. You look at what the hell they've done. What has Trump done? Oh, he was the figurehead on a reality TV show. That makes him a number one to run the country, right? Right. That's the problem. That's the mindset that the people in the United States needs to get out of. Stop putting these people on pedestals. You shouldn't have anybody on a pedestal but the Father himself. That's it. Nobody else. No, and I mean nobody else. No athletes, no performers, entertainers, none. He's very clear about that, the Father. Very, very, very clear. And that's one place that I see a lot of people really fall hard. I don't know. I guess humans feel a desire to need someone to look up to need a hero. And the sad thing is they've got one. They've got the ultimate hero. But they choose not to reach out to him. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I think that in terms of street racing, I think that Democrats have a sleeper. And I think if it would come down between the two, between Trump and Robert Kennedy Jr., I think Robert Kennedy Jr. would walk all over Trump. Trump's got a lot of baggage that he's carrying with him. Some of that baggage, in my opinion, is good. A lot of that baggage, more than not, is bad. You know, let's not forget, Trump was buddy-buddy with Epstein. Let's not forget who stood and still continues to stand 100% behind Operation Warp Speed. Let's not forget who encouraged the states to start putting in red flag laws. Let's not forget who made it widely acceptable for the BTAFE, or whatever the hell they are now, to do the bump stock ban. Let's not forget that stuff. I damn sure ain't gonna forget that stuff. It's not about a political party. It's not about rooting for the entertainer that you watched on reality TV so you think he's a good president. That's the most retarded mindset I think I've ever heard. Yeah, I wasn't a real big fan, even as a child, because you got to realize I was a kid. But I wasn't a normal kid. I was much more observant than most children, and I had a lot more of a tie to the real world, so to speak, as in my dad watched news all the time. So guess who got to watch news, right? And outside of news, my dad didn't give a damn what was on the TV. As long as it wasn't news time, he didn't care what we watched. So I would sit there patiently and I would watch the news so that I could switch it to what I wanted afterwards. So I seen a lot of news as a child. And my dad wasn't a very political person. He wasn't a very politically outspoken person or anything like that. In fact, I couldn't tell you for a fact what my dad was politically, what party he associated himself with, or whether or not he did. I do know that he was a big fan of Perot. I do know that he thought Perot got robbed. But that's about the most I could tell you, because my dad didn't really discuss politics. But of course, he would have reactions and say things and stuff like that in reference to different things on the news, and so I picked up on it. I think my dad was probably more conservative than not, but I think my dad would very much like me be a very, very, very strong independent, as in, no, get rid of the parties. I think my dad would have probably felt the same way as far as Robert Kennedy Jr. is concerned. I do think Democrats got a shoe-in sitting right there. Whether or not they will allow him to advance, which I doubt, remains to be seen. I don't think anybody's going to be allowed to advance except for Ice Cream Potato Head Joe. I think that's the only one that there's even a remote chance of getting out of the Democratic primaries. So, we'll see. And I expect that there's not going to be any other choice than Trump when it comes to the Republican primaries. I don't think anybody else has even got a remote chance of getting it. Why? Because if you haven't figured it out by now, they are selected, and this bullshit is nothing but a circus sideshow game to keep you distracted while they keep you extracted. It's not going to get any better because we're not getting any smarter. We can't get past this part of the learning curve because we're still idolizing men. But I don't get it. Shalom.